Welcome back to DPT 100, and we are in project 4, and we are going to make this connecting rod. And it looks harder than really what it is. So first thing we got to look at, though, is you notice if you zoom in on this thing here, these are in inches. This is not millimeters. All right, standard inches. So how do you change that? I'll show you real quick. You want to come up here to document settings, and you see how it's in millimeter. Just click on this little button right there, and you can switch it to inches. Okay, and it's that quick. If you want to switch back to millimeters, it's the same thing. So the first thing I want to do is create my sketch. In my origin, I like to go to my XY plane, and I want to turn off the views on those. And I want to go ahead and put my 1.25 diameter on here. 1.25. Zoom in there. There it is. And then I have another one that's offset, 1-inch diameter. Perfect. And then I want to go straight across from it, line perfectly up with it. And just to make sure, I go from the center of it and I bring it straight over 6.5. And we see this is a 1.25 radius. So I come in here and 1.25 times 2. And of course, we've got another 1-inch radius, so that would be 2. And I go right through the center of this, so you can tell that I'm just going to trim this up. Just like that. And really and truly, I don't need that line anymore. I just use it as a reference. So I hit Finish Sketch. As you can see on this thing, it is the overall width of it is 1 inch. So extrude, I want to catch that and that at 1 inch. And then OK. Boom. There it is. Now, I want to put me a plane right through the middle of that. So I'll make myself a work plane. I turn it in an isometric look. Come back up here to construct. And I hit the button here, show me some more. I want the mid plane. So what that means is I catch this side, and then I hit shift and smash down my wheel on my mouse. I can rotate it, hit the other side, hit OK, and right there it is. From there, I want to make myself a new sketch, like that. And I want to put this stuff on the inside. So I hit me a line, and you notice right there, and I bring up, I want to hit a line, and I'll bring that line straight through, and I'm going to offset it. I'm going to offset it. The overall is 0.75. So click on the line, and half of 0.75 is 0.375. It's 3/8. So I can do 0.75 divided by 2 on there. Makes it pretty easy. Do it again for the other side. Pull it down. It would be, of course, minus 0.75 divided by 2. We know it's 3/8. Trim all that mess out. Oh, can't trim like that. The reason being is this is not projected. Okay, so I want to project that image onto my plane, because you can see it's not projected onto my grid. So to do that, it's pretty easy. Create, and you come down to project and include, project, and you can actually click right on that line, click right on that. See how it projects it to the center in the grid? It projects that shape, that sketch, onto your new grid. So now I can actually turn this back around and I can trim. Y'all see that? And it didn't let me do it that time, but it should have projected. Let's try it again. Project. There we go. And there we go. So finish sketch. And they're all on there, but I want to go back to that sketch. So I double click down here in my history, and I want to put my offset back on there of 0.375. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my circle back in there so I can trim, because they didn't want to let me trim a few minutes ago. All right, that looks really good. And I want to extend this one out. For some reason, it went the opposite way on me, so I want to extend it on out to touch that. Come back here and trim all this stuff out. That worked fine with that projection that time, so we're in good shape. Now, if I look at this, I've got a radius coming up here to this point and back over, and really we don't have a whole lot to go off here, but we do. There's 3 from the center of this coming up. It goes to the center of this hole. Here's a quick trick. Go from here. Half of 3, you know, is 1.5. All right. And then this radius is 0.25. So both sides. So we go from here and go 0.25 up. So all you got to do is add 0.25 to this. 1.5 plus 0.25, and you know it's going to be 1.75. That'd take you to the main top of this. And then come straight over. It looks like 0.5. Enter. Then come straight down with a line off that point, and you notice it'll be this whole thing all the way down to here, because this is from the center of this circle. It comes down to 0.25. So 0.25 and 25 would be 0.5. And then you want to take and come straight over 0.75 from this outside edge all the way to right there. So it would be 0.5, so you only add 0.25 onto that. So you've got yourself a point right there. Do y'all see that? Now I want to show you some descriptive geometry, some old school methods. Now there's all kinds of different ways to put this 2-inch radius in here, but you got to remember you're going to be tangent. That circle's going to hit tangent on this surface, and it's going to come up to a point. It's not going to come back up to its quadrant level with its center point. Okay, it's going to stop at a point. There's some different ways to do this. I want to show you this way. This is the old school method that works so good, and it's so easy. You don't have to worry about trying to get tools to work, because you take whatever the radius is, which is 2, and come in here and get the circle. And that radius is 2, so I've got to make this a radius of 2 circle. So the radius of 2, what is a radius of 2 in diameter? Uh-oh, I done something there. Undo that. What is the radius of 2 in diameter? It'd be double, so it'd be 4. And what it is where the line and this circle intersect is your center point. And it'd be 4-inch diameter, which would be a 2-inch radius. So we're going to have to take a look. There's something right here. And this line is off just a bit. So we got to come in here, double click it to 2, enter that up. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. This line's moving on us, and that's okay. So let's do this. Let's offset it. We'll bring it straight up 2-inch. Another way of doing it. Now put that in there at 4, and see how it hits perfectly at the center point and tangent. Just delete out what you don't need. Trim everything up. It's nice and pretty. That looks good. all that has kind of come together now. And I'm just going to take and I'm going to click right there, and I'll bring this one up to that point, and I'll trim out the stuff that I do not need there. I just made that line in there. And I'm going to go ahead and I really don't need this side either. Okay, because I want to take and mirror this to the other side. It'd be so much easier to mirror it. Okay, so finish my sketch. I like to turn it around a little bit so I can see it. And I want to extrude this, and I want to do it by symmetrical, and this is 1/2 inch, so it'd be 1/4 inch both sides. And we're going to join it. Okay, so looking good so far. All I have to do now is a couple of the things before I mirror it over. First thing is up here. That don't look right, does it? So I'm going to use the fillet tool and click on both edges of that. And you see that's a 1/4 inch radius. Just change that to 0.25. Okay, and you can see now how it made it rounded. It looks better, doesn't it? You can see over here that it's desiring a 0.5 radius. Click on that, and that one is a 0.5. Okay. So all of that looks really, really good. All I have to do is just mirror it to the other side, and basically this thing will be done. So in doing that, right here would be my mirror plane. Basically is that flat surface. I can make a plane to put on there, but not necessary. So all I have to do is just go to, it's in Create. There's a mirror and faces, objects, and I can actually click on that and then click on my mirrors. See, I'm come down here in history and it's automatically putting those on there. And then my mirror plane would be that face right there, and then OK. So really quickly there, I've put that thing together. It looks really good. And all that you guys are going to have to do now is make you a new sketch on there to put this little indentation in at 0.125. It goes on both sides of it. And then put your holes in those endpoints. So again, if you need help with this, let me know. But also right in there, now this is just the indentation, 0.125. This will be metal through here. I want you to put your name right through there. I want you to use a snipping tool, and I want you to take a shot of this, and I want you to send this one to me. Again, if you need any help with the rest of it, just let me know. But this should give you a good start on it, a good lead to get it finished.